wow, a community
Yeah.
garden sits where a crack house used to be.
Right.
But this is me knowing my neighborhood. And early 90s, it was so prevalent throughout a lot of the homes in Detroit. So many people have left that, places for people to use was commonplace for that to exist,
Mm-hmm.
usually from younger people, because the drug sentencing laws at the time weren't as strenuous on younger people. So it was more involvement of younger people for crack cocaine, the industry, the whole idea of you're not going to face the sentencing that someone older would get. So older people would involve intentionally, like teenagers
The
involved in it.
teenagers. That's right.
So a teenager is going to sell drugs differently than an older person. I think that it's often a story told as if drugs weren't in the Black community before crack cocaine. The key difference is just younger people, their discernment is different.
That's
But
right.
heroin has been prevalently inside the Black community going back to the days of jazz. We think of rest in peace, John Coltrane, and all of what he struggled with, and many others in that alignment within Black culture. And sadly, I'm using him as an example, but so many jazz legends. But just as it's always been prevalent,
Mm-hmm.
but never from the lens of a 15-year-old
That's right.
whose perspective will be different than a 50-year-old or a 40-year-old. This puts this in many neighborhoods like yours and mine.
Mm-hmm.
How did you all go about resolving that? Even as you're walking up and down the street with the bullhorn, I'm pretty sure you're walking past
The drug
the
house.
spot itself.
That's right. The residents on the block said there's a drug house down the street, and we have been calling the police. So I came up with a different
Approach.
way of getting rid of the drug house.
Yeah.
What I did was let's talk to the landlord
Mhm.
that owns the house, and let's come up with a solution. And let's get him to get rid of the people selling the drugs, and we give him a good tenant. Let's ask him to allow us to pick the tenant to go in that house. Somebody that will play a part of the block club and somebody that would take care of the house and pay the rent on time.
How did you go about even approaching that landlord and finding who that landlord was, having that conversation? Most landlords are pretty aware when they got a spot.
The stronger the two is going to win out. Either you're going to be bold and do it, or you're going to allow whatever you're going to be bold with. What I did is I saw the landlord leaving there, and I looked back, yeah, it was very dangerous. He was a Caucasian guy.
Mhm.
I saw him leaving that house,
Mm.
and I followed him in my car. I went up to him, hi, my name is Toni McIlwain. As you can see, we've really cleaned up the block, and I'm the president of this block club. You have people selling drugs in that house. I said, sir, if you get rid of the problem, let us talk to the tenants. Let us be the ones that bring in a good tenant. He did that.